Okay, so I'm going to show you the basic workflow, the named workflow that I recommend be used for small projects of 4 or 5 people. In so in this workflow, the basic idea is that every developer will have his own branch named after him, and the master branch will be sort of where everybody puts the stuff that's ready for everybody to see. And we're going to start, from the beginning and, see how you get to this workflow from when you started. So here's the beginning where I just created a GitHub project called Sandbox. And, right now I'm the only user. Copy this. So I did add another person to this, my robot account, jmvidal-robot. So over here, you see the project is just right now, it just has that README file. Says hello there, and the history, the log file is just one commit. Right? So over here, say that's my second user. I'm going to call him robot. And so robot, first he has to clone the repository. Remember I just got this from here and I cut and pasted that. So this is the other person. He clones the repository, and awesome. So now he has the sandbox, and he's got everything, right? Awesome. So when you start out, the easiest way is, we're going to stay on the master branch. So you see here my prompt, I have it set to show the current branch, which you can also get by just git status on branch master. So we're in the master branch here, and over here too. Let's just make some changes here to show you. Oops. So let's say I make some changes to the README file. First change, I committed. First change, right? So I make some changes there, and the easiest way to do sharing is everybody on the master branch. So maybe when we're starting out, this is what you would do. You just make a lot of changes on the master branch because you're just trying to get your code set up, the various files. You keep adding files usually, and so robot here, he can just git pull, and he's gonna get, if he doesn't get pull, that's gonna go to GitHub, and it's gonna fetch these changes. So then he'll have oh, sorry, first I gotta push, right? So I push that, and then I pull, and the other guy pulled, and now he has all these changes. So that's how that can work, right? And so similarly, the robot can, let's say he creates his own file, robot.md, domo arigato. And then he adds it, and then he's gonna commit it for the commit, because I want this to show us a different user. If there's now obviously you don't need to do this in your code. I'm doing this because I'm trying to simulate a second user, so I'm using the author as the second user. First robot. But the robot commit his changes and pushes them to GitHub, and once he's done, then I can pull them, right? And so what's going to happen is, whenever you do a pull, if I do a jmvidal does a pull here on the left, he's going to pull those changes. So this is going to work fine. The first problem you're going to run into, and this is very common, is that let's say the robot makes some changes, and I make some changes. We're both committing in our respective, masters, right? So we're both doing local commits. We haven't pushed anything yet. And but after 5 or 10 commits, and in the afternoon, the robot is like, runs into some trouble, he has a bug that he wants me to check out, or he thinks there's a bug in my code and he wants me to see his code and how it's working or whatever. So basically, the robot needs me to look at his code. Well, we can't do that right now. If he's checking everything in the master branch, and he pushes the master branch, and then I pull it just like we just did here. Remember, when I pull it, I'm also merging with all the changes I made that day that I haven't pushed. So what I'm going to end up with after that merge is a mixture of his code plus my code, which might be in really bad shape at that time. So that's not going to work, and it gets even hairier when you have 4 or 5 people. So what we want is we want to be able to, at any time, any developer in the group should be able to see what any other developer in the group is doing. So I should be able to just switch to your branch and see what you're doing. Run your code and whatever. And we'll just establish the rule that I'm going to be able to see it, but I'm not going to change it. So this is pretty standard way to set up your coordination, right? So the way we do that is with branches. So like I said, the basic idea is that everybody's going to create a branch named after themselves. So this is the jmvidal user, so he's going to create the jmvidal branch. Make sure I did the pool so everything is up to date. And the robot is going to create a branch called robot. So after you create a branch called robot, then the robot can check out that branch, right? So robot, and like I said, from now on, we're doing named branches with user names as the name of the branches, and we're gonna say that all your changes, all the robot's changes will be on the branch robot. So he starts the day, he checks out his branch, and he starts making changes. Let's say he makes one change here. Change to, and add it, commit it to robot. So there's the robot, he made that change. And now let's say that that's when he runs into trouble. He wants me to see it. I'm over here on the left. How do I see it? Well, first he has to push the robot branch, right? So he's in the robot branch, as we can see here. And if he does a git push, it's not going to work, but it's going to tell us what will work. So the first time, git push in the robot branch doesn't work. And it tells you this is how you do it. So that's basically it's telling us that at origin, which is GitHub, the robot branch of origin is the robot branch of this machine. So keep the same name. So that's going to push the robot branch there, and jmvidal, when he does a pull, now I can just do a git pull, and you can see it just says, oh, look, there's a new branch called robot. Check it out. I just downloaded it for you. And so I can do git check out a robot, and I'm in the robot branch, and there it is. I can now see what he did. Now, like I said, I shouldn't make any changes. I can make any changes I want here, but I shouldn't commit it and push any changes to the robot branch. That's just the rule we're setting up. But I can mess around with it locally as much as I want to. So awesome. So then I'm gonna do the same thing. Check out my branch, right? So I'm in my branch, and then I can do the same thing. I can add more stuff to my README file. Right. So I made some changes now to the jmvidal. And robot has made some changes in the robot branch. But now let's say now robot is ready to share. So I checked out his robot, I looked at it, and he looked at it. We think, oh, this is awesome. It's ready. Merge it back into the master. So at some point, and you should do this frequently, you want to merge your changes in your name branch into the master so everybody else can see them, right? So the master branch going to hold the project really and what everybody else is working on. So you want to do this like every day at least, depending on how much you're working. So how do we do that? Let's say again the robot is ready. So all he has to do is he has to go back to master, and you're gonna do a git pull when you're master, just to make sure your master is up to date, and then you're gonna merge robot branch, and there you go. So in this case, it was just a fast forward. So now the master branch has been merged with the robot branch, and I can push. So the git push is going to push that master branch out over here. So jmvidal. So I am here on the jmvidal branch, and I'm still, nothing has changed for me. But if I do a git pull, you will see there's a couple of things. So you'll see that I downloaded the master branch. So I updated the master branch that this guy did. And this part over here is just telling me that no, yeah, it's the same thing. I should just do a git push. Just telling me that my jmvidal branches doesn't match. There's no match over there. So you want to do that. You're going to push jmvidal over there. And now if you go to GitHub, by the way, you can see that. So you go to GitHub project, hit branches. You see there's 3 branches now, and you can see you can view the merge. What happened? Yeah, sometimes it takes a little while. So it's 3 branches, but it's only showing the 2. View merge branches. So there's the robot. Okay, so the robot has been merged, so it's appearing there. And jmvidal has not been merged into master, so it's appearing here. That's why. So you can see the branches there. You can also click here on network, and it'll give you this sort of visualization of it, which is nice. Okay, so back over here in jmvidal, I downloaded, I did a git pull over here. I did a git pull up here where I downloaded a new master branch. And so I'm still in jmvidal. If you look at the git logs, the log file, you see, I have this more stuff commit that, I haven't merged with the master yet. So I'm still ahead. But what you want to do is, since let's say I downloaded what the changes robot made using that git pull, and then after git pull on jmvidal, I'm going to do git merge master, and that's already up to date. So I'm going to check out master, and then I'm going to put my changes on jmvidal into master. Apparently I already did that. Push. So I'll just push it then. And that's taking a while. So no. So yeah, git pull. It's telling me I need to do a git pull first. Apparently I forgot to do a git pull. And then git merge. Merge the jmvidal changes. And now I can push. So that's it. The basic, there's sort of 2 main things when you're doing this name branching. Just need to remember to you go to master, you do a git pull, and that's going to give you whatever, everybody else has pushed, right? So you want to do a git pull, then you want to do git check out your name branch, and you want to do a git merge master, right? To merge in any changes from that they have made into what you're working on, right? So these things, git pull, go to your name branch, and then on your name branch, merge master. These are the three things that you want to do whenever somebody else updates the master, right? Where somebody else says, "Okay, I push some changes to GitHub," you do these three things, and basically you download and then merge those changes into whatever you're working on. Now, after this merge, what you're doing is you're gonna, adding the code they just added. So maybe things get broken. They'll get broken on your name branch, and you have to fix them. So, but you want to do that often, right? Because it's easier to fix when there's a small bug. If this is a big merge, then many things get broken, and it's harder to fix things when there are many wrong things. So you do these three things, or these two things basically, a lot. Pull and merge with the changes that you're doing. Then after you make your changes in jmvidal, so I make a bunch of changes, a bunch of commits on this jmvidal branch. I do this again one last time. I do pull and then merge just to make sure, and then I do git checkout. I go back to the master, and then I do git merge with jmvidal, which is not gonna do anything right now, but so, and then I push. So this is how I update or publish my changes. Check out the master, merge with my name branch, and push. So these three to pull, these three commands to push. Pulling changes from anybody else, and these three to push my changes out to GitHub and thus to everybody else. Okay, one last thing is while we're doing this is there's this other thing that GitHub provides called pull request. They're right over here, and I just want to show you. So let's say here I'm in jmvidal, and so I see it's telling me that I need to switch to your branches ahead of origin master. So it basically tells me to push my branch out. The jmvidal branch is trailing the one at GitHub. So that means I haven't pushed my changes. So just git push. And let's say now, I make some changes. Am I ahead now? So I'm going to make some changes to the README. But let's say now that I am a new developer in this team, right? So the people have been working for a while, but I'm a new developer. And I'm using the same as before. So I have my name branch, and I make my commits. Right. So I have my jmvidal branch and my commit, and but since I'm a new developer, the other developers don't trust me, right? So they don't want me at this point. Say I'm ready to merge these changes into the master, but I'm the new guy, and you don't trust me, and the developers don't trust me. So we established the rule that I will not merge into master by myself, right? So which is what I would normally do. I would just check out master and then merge. What did I show you? Then check out master, and I would merge jmvidal and then push that. So don't do that. They tell me instead push jmvidal. So I'm gonna push my name branch over to GitHub, and then I'm gonna go over to GitHub and issue a pull request. So this is only a GitHub thing. I'm gonna click here on new pull request, and I'm gonna say there. So I'm gonna say I want to go the jmvidal branch, pull the jmvidal branch into the master branch, and I just click here, click to create a pull request for this comparison, click there, and I hope so. And I'm going to send that pull request. And so there it is. And what the pull request does is creates, this web page, pull/1. This is our first pull request. And this is just a web page, has nothing to do with GitHub per se, but it's a great place where the whole team can now go in here and look. So if anybody in the team, first of all, they're going to get an email the moment you do this, and then they can go to this page and click here and actually look at the changes that you made, or I made in this case, and write comments on it. So they can go back over here, and they can write some comments on the pull request. Then they can say, oh yeah, well, maybe this is okay, but we're using camel case name, so change your variable names or whatever. And at that point, you have a little discussion here. You can go and change those. So notice that this pull request is from the jmvidal branch. So if there's a comment here that I should do something, I could go over here and do my changes on the jmvidal branch, push it again, and I don't have to do anything over here, right? This is a commit from the jmvidal branch at wherever it's pointing at. So it doesn't mean that. So if I push the jmvidal branch later, that's fine. This merge is going to be with that new jmvidal branch. So I can keep updating my jmvidal branch until I got it. There could be more commits here. So at that point, then we can merge it. You can merge it either by hand, or now GitHub has this button here that will just do the merge over at the GitHub server. So this is the same merge we did before. So if I click here, confirm merge, and there it is. So that pull request has been closed. And so now if I do a git pull, or anybody does a git pull, they're going to get the new master branch that incorporates the changes that jmvidal made. So that's a nice feature. And one last thing is that once your project gets published, right? So you publish the first version of your software. People tend to, instead of having these name branches that are named after the developers, you're going to have name branches that are named after features or bugs. And those are going to be more short-lived branches. So these name branches are very useful. When you're starting out, you go from no code to like an alpha version or a beta version of the software. Once you get to a working software, they become less useful, and it's better to move. When you see all the big projects, of course, will have name branches where the names are features, like add explosion in second level, or fix save bug or whatever. So that's it.